Hi, I'm Jim Kuntz, the president of Aero Lift Incorporated. Welcome to today's podcast. The lift industry is massive. Moving materials, putting people up in the air has grown exponentially in the past decade, and there's no end in sight. It's a fascinating industry, constantly evolving, getting more and more technology put into it, and it's almost impossible to keep up with all the trends. But there is a resource here that's very valuable. It's the Bible that we all depend on and stay up with the latest news and the trends and interesting machines and applications, contractors. The list goes on and on and on. I'm very, very excited today to have the editor of that Bible, Lindsey Anderson, with us today, managing access lift and handlers for KHL Publications. Welcome, Lindsey. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Jim. It's been a pleasure knowing Aero Lift over the last, 6, 7, 8 years. It's been probably longer. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Thanks so much.
Great. Well, tell us a little bit about how you got into the industry. I suspect when you got into the industry, it was pretty much a male-dominated industry, and you've been there right from the beginning. How did all that happen?
So good question. One that I get quite frequently, to be honest. So when I graduated from Michigan State University, the internship market there wasn't really as buoyant as I would prefer. So I looked to Chicago, and I landed with Chicago Magazine, which is a regional publication, part-time. And then I needed to make ends meet, as any just after college kid needed to do. So I found another internship, and it was with Lift Applications and Equipment magazine. So I joined them, and about 6 months into my internship, they said, "Would you like to be assistant editor under the editor at the time?" I said, "Yes, absolutely. I'd love a career." So I joined Lift Applications and Equipment and progressed over about 2.5 years with them to being editor of the magazine. And it just really fell into place. I was with them 2.5 years, and then I was approached by KHL to come on board. And so yes, it's been an interesting 16, almost 17 years in the industry. Definitely changed quite a bit, and it's been good changes. And I love the industry. I love the people. I love my job, and I love KHL. So yeah, I've been around for quite some time.
That's crazy. That's an interesting story, and that you just like immediately, I don't want to say fell into it, but just you guided yourself into it, but then found something that you loved. The industry loves you. You love the industry. It is a fascinating industry. It is just incredible, and all the things and all the changes. What do you find that interests you most? Do you like the interviews? Do you like new product introductions, or what is it that you like to do?
A little bit of both, Jim, because usually how I conduct my interviews, there might be a portion that I talk about products with the OEM, but also the new product launches with the technology that's growing today on these machines. It's fun to see new equipment come out, even prototypes when you're at Bauma or ConExpo, and you go, "Wow, is that the future of the industry?" So, but I do have to say, a really good interview that you just get someone that's got a good response, is well spoken, and maybe there's some humor. There's nothing like that. That's definitely a big portion of what I do on a daily basis, and it's enjoyable. It's thoroughly enjoyable.
It's still a people business.
It is very much so.
Yeah, and you're very personable and you ask great questions. I watch your interviews. I always am delighted when I see one. I always want to watch it real quick because I know it's going to be good. You're a great interviewer and a great interviewee. So
Well,
I'm
thank you.
delighted to say that and have you as a guest. It's what now when you're preparing, how do you send manuscripts back and forth? How does that work?
Typically, so if I will approach a company and ask to conduct an interview, then I will do some research, maybe look at their website for their history. I'll look at their product lineup, or if they're a rental company, their services. I'll look and see if they have a blog, things they've written about. Then I'll do just a general web search, Google, to see if there's been any company news recently. I'll look and see if they have a media portion on their website, and I'll go through that for anything that's been new. And then I'll start to create a list of questions. I do offer people to review the questions beforehand. I find that preparing is pretty important for some, folks. And then once they say, yep, we're good to go, we'll set up the interview and run through the questions. I record them video and audio, and then I'll transcribe everything, get all my notes together, and draft up a story. And it's typically just that process of research, writing your questions, interviewing, and then finding that little nugget that people want to hear.
Yeah, there's no doubt that you're prepared. And there's just no question about it. That everything you exude preparedness, and your articles are like that as well. Now you're a very, very busy lady, and you've been exceptionally busy here of late. Tell us about your new little project here.
Absolutely. It's a passion project. So we have just acquired Scaffold and Access magazine, and Scaffold and Access magazine serves the Scaffold and Access Industry Association. We've been media partners with, we say SAIA to keep it short. We've been media partners with them for over a decade, and they came to us kind of looking at KHL as a whole and for a new publisher for their magazine. And we said, yes, this is a perfect fit. So our first issue just came out Jan-Feb. It's available for free on our website. Anyone can download it and read it. And we have basically incorporated Scaffold and Access into Access Lift and Handlers, making it the largest issue that we've ever published of ALH. We're at 80 pages. It's thick, it's nice, it's got tons of information. And so we're really excited. We like to think of it as we now offer the industry a full solution, a full resource to everything work at height for the trade publishing sector and everything related to it. So we're really excited. We're working on our March-April issue right now. And it's been a fun year, busy, as you said. And it's a change and learning, a lot about scaffolding now. So despite being in the industry this long, it's still new, and there's still challenges and learning to do.
Yeah, you're just brimming with excitement. I can tell that. Now, what is your capacity at this new magazine?
So I'm the head editor, but I do have an assistant editor. So I'll put together the running order, which is kind of our stories that we are going to cover for the month. And then I'll say to my assistant editor, okay, these are the features we need to tackle, and she'll get a good portion of them and I'll get a couple. And then she focuses really on the scaffold side, and then I'll focus on the access lift and handler side. So, but it's a good mix. We both conduct the interviews, we both write, we both edit and proof the pages.
And her name is, give her a shout out.
Yes, absolutely. Alyssa Asaro, and she has been with us since November, and she really enjoys it, and I'm so glad to have her on board.
Yeah. Well, welcome aboard. She's got a great boss.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your personal life. What do you do for fun, and how do you unwind? I mean, it looks like you love your work, first of all. That's probably enjoyment enough, but you do need to separate from it. So what do you like to do?
Yeah, pre-pandemic, I loved to travel. Hopefully that's getting back a little bit here. Work travel still a little slow, but a beach vacation, I can never go wrong. Or even just driving up to Milwaukee, seeing a brewery or two, live shows, concerts, sports. I love all that. And I'm also a woodworker. So I enjoy going to shop something. I find a lot of peace and like the feeling of success when you've created a product that you can actually hold in your hands and use. So yeah, it's been a fun hobby to learn, an expensive hobby, but it challenges me and it brings a new perspective after I'm done. And I think, I feel good. I feel a different creativity, and it's just been great.
Interesting. From a very, very technologically driven environment professionally, you find yourself with a piece of wood in your hand, trying to carve it, and probably with some very fundamental tools.
Exactly. Yes. It's almost like it's a 180.
Interesting. Interesting indeed. Now tell us a little bit where you see the industry going. I mean, what is new and exciting that you can tell us? Give us a little nugget that no one else knows that you're going to tell us right now.
Ooh, a little secret. Well, I think let's see, we have BAUMA this year. So I think we'll see some really, really technologically advanced machines come out, whether they're prototypes or going to be in production. I think the push of electric is going to be very big. We're seeing more and more telehandlers come out with fully electric options. And while they're on the compact side, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't start seeing larger pieces of access equipment come out fully electric. The market, it's, here in the US, it's pent up demand. People from OEMs to rental, they're reporting really strong results. So I think we will have a good 2022, and I believe 2023 will also see that uptick. We've got the infrastructure bill that could help with contractors, but the problems are supply chain and labor shortage. So getting through those, we should have a really great couple of years and see some really neat machines come out, I think.
It's funny, my company Aero bulked up on telehandlers in anticipation of a labor shortage because a machine can outwork people. But it still bit us because there's not enough people to split crews and start another crew or whatever it is. So it's still a challenge for us as well. And how that is going to get resolved is anybody's guess. More training, more people, men and women, going into the career instead of going to learn how to code. You still need people to build things, and hopefully that will, we get kids right out of the tech schools. They may not even want to go to college. They just like wrenching, and they're wonderful for us, and we're wonderful for them. So that's what we're doing. We have a man sitting on the advisory board of the local tech school. So we're trying to do our part as well to train the next generation mechanics for ourselves. Now, is there any other acquisitions going on behind the scenes there for your growing empire?
Not right now, no. We purchased our power division a few years back. That's Diesel Progress, Diesel International magazines, and then Scaffold and Access this past year. So that's a good group that has come on board. But from there, no, we have joint ventures with training company, EasyBook Training. And we also have a joint venture with Lawson's Global Recruitment. They focus on putting people at work into construction positions, OEM, stuff like that. So we've diversified greatly over the last 5-6 years, and we'll see where it takes us in the future.
Well, you've got the energy and the intelligence and the drive, the ambition. You're just a delightful guest, and it's been great to know you over the years. And it's fun to turn the tables on you. You've interviewed me twice, so I get a little bit of retribution here. But you've been a wonderful guest. I can't thank you enough. Is there anything you'd like to say in closing today, Lindsey?
No, Jim. I really appreciate you guys, approaching me about this. It's been a great conversation. I've really enjoyed knowing you and Aerolift as a whole over the years. It's especially near and dear to my heart because you're Michigan based, and so that's where my roots are. But no, thank you so much, and I wish you guys a good quarter here, and hope lots of success comes your way.
Thank you very much. We're to that. I can't. Have a great afternoon, and stay in touch, please.
Thanks, Jim.